Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently doing something. I'm sure we're doing something. I have no memory of what that something might be. Okay, this is off to a good start. Let's find out. We are apparently done building roads off over here. We're going to move on over. Right, we were working on getting these missions done. That's what it was. I had completely forgotten. Fantastic. So we're actually 2 pops away from an island paradise here. That's really close. As far as assimilating the Tamils go, we have another 1,000 pops to go. So that's fine. The Tooth of the Buddha, we've got some work to do on that. We need to take over some Seleukid territory. That's fine. We need to fight Sumpa over this way. Okay, sure. And of course we need to work on our silk and on our granary. Okay, so we're at 93 out of 100 here. So I want to go through and check all of these. 28, 28. Actually, this is at 19 of 21. There's a possibility we might be able to get a little bit more here, but no. Okay, that's still disloyal. What else do we have over here? Okay, those are good to go, or as good to go as they're going to be. For Granary of India, we definitely could use some additional population up in these areas, right? No doubt about that. Anything we can do here. Actually, yes, we can move this pop in. I don't think that pop will actually do anything here, but we can move them in. Anything over here? Not really is the answer. Okay. So the question then becomes, how do we go about doing this? How do we get the little bit of extra production that we need here? We don't need much. We need about 2 provinces worth. Well, we can force it by overpopulation. That is option 1. Option 2 is that we can increase our pop cap, but that doesn't actually help us all that much. 2.5% population is not a lot. I don't think that would even be a single population. Okay, other potential options. I don't suppose there's any other slave production that we've missed in terms of, like, good output. Like, slave output is in here still. We can definitely still do that. There is some I mean, we can make our way to rural planning. That is an option. We can make our way into, like, yeah, these output ones here. This is tribesmen, but there are slave ones around. That's not going to actually increase our goods outputs, I don't think. So, aggressive expansion change. We could look through some of these areas over here and just see what we've got. There's some like this that I don't exactly know what the icon means. Improve opinion maximum. Okay, sure. Research points, improve opinion maximum. That's all fairly irrelevant to us right now. Loyalty of generals would be nice, but it's not something we're going to go after immediately here. There's a lot of stuff in there that we would like to go after, but what I really want to see here is something like this. Slaves needed for surplus reduction. That would be amazing, because that's what we need, is additional surplus. Okay. So we're probably going to have to give up on the food side for right now, unless we find something here. The fact of the matter is, it's going to be slightly problematic. I mean, pop cap there. That's a potential option. And there's nothing in religious, huh? I'm not immediately seeing anything here. So I think we're going to have to focus in for a bit here anyway. I think we're going to have to focus on our silk production. And the question is, why? Well, we just don't quite have what we need up here. It's sad, but it's true. For our silk production, we need 9 additional. We've got this area here. This is at 21 out of 27. Can we move any additional pops in? They are all disloyal at this moment. Okay. I mean, we're working on it. We are indeed working on it. What other locations do we have for our silk? Okay. Not a lot is the answer. We've got this city. We've got this city. We've got this city. And we can definitely build a pair of aqueducts here. We can build an additional aqueduct here. We can build a couple additional aqueducts here. Apparently we cannot build 2 additional here. Oh, because we're disloyal. Sure. But we can build additional aqueducts here as well. So every 17 will produce an additional 1 silk. That's a lot. Since we need 9 silk. What's 9 times 17? I don't even know. 9 times 17 is 153. Divided by 4 for the aqueducts would be 38.25 aqueducts that we need to put in here. Those numbers aren't exactly adding up, are they? So we may have to do some additional work. What would we get for being a metropolis? That's a good question. We do need a new martial researcher, and let's put in this guy. Cool. Now we're also thinking about attacking Sumpa at some point. Some point. There has to be another one, right? Maybe, but probably not, is the answer. Okay, so Costa Deify ruler, yeah. There's just not all that much for getting that done. So there is some work we'll have to do here. We can let this finish its construction. Where was that other silk producer? The one that was not a city. This one down here. Everything else is a city. This is not. So I would like to upgrade that to a city. We can actually afford to do that right now. We'll get that going. That will be helpful. And patience is indeed a virtue. 13 slave pops here. With a provincial legation. 15 here. 15 here. 17 here. So what's causing the differential? What is different about these? Local monthly food modifier, sure. Slaves needed for local surplus +2 because of the unintegrated dominant culture. Got it. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So as we integrate this stuff, it will passively get better for us in terms of its production. That does actually make a lot of sense. Cool. So we can work on that. That'll take a little while. We need to group these guys together and make sure that they're drilling. There we go. We are currently lacking a governor in Karnata, so we'll go ahead and put this guy in, and he probably changed around some of our setups here. So let's go ahead and sort by religious unity. That's all good. Everything down here should be in cultural conversion. So there we go. Cultural assimilation, cultural assimilation, cultural assimilation. Anything else here? Yup. Cultural assimilation, cultural assimilation, and cultural assimilation. Nope, we don't have enough political influence. We'll have to wait a month tick, and that was a month tick right there. So that was convenient. Cultural assimilation. Fantastic. So that should be everything in here unless I missed one through scrolling. I did? Okay. And these should be allowed to trade automatically. We'll rectify the situation soon. Soon just happens to be after your death. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's true. That's when soon is. So we currently have... Well, we don't know exactly how much we have here. We have 5. We have some fractional amount beyond 5. We may well get there on the next month tick to get this changed over. It's very likely, in fact. Let's see what the roll is here. It's not really a roll. Let's see what we've got. 7. Okay, perfect. So we go ahead and change this to cultural assimilation as well. Okay, so that's a lot of cultural assimilation. There are no provincial legations to build. Cool. So now we need to think about Sumpa. And when we want to attack them. I'm assuming we're no longer truced with them. Yeah, that's accurate. These guys would join in with Sumpa. I'm not too scared of them. Do we have somewhere down here we can sit and not take attrition? Well, no. Where's our supply map mode at? I should learn these icons at some point. There we go. Yeah, we don't have anywhere down here we can sit without taking attrition, but we can sit down here and take attrition for a little bit as we're on our way over. Realistically, we should probably force march our way over. Although that will increase the weight modifier. Is it worth it? I don't know. It's an interesting question. 6 stability for 10 political influence. No. We need our political influence, that's for sure. So we've got all of this building up over here. 83 out of 88, 60 out of 64, 90 out of 100, 56 out of 59, 57 out of 62, and of course our city that we're working on down here. How long on that? 373 days. Okay. This is going to require a fair amount of work as well once that gets done. So that is all good to know. And once we're done with that, of course, then we can just kind of ignore our silk generation and work on the Granary of India. That's down to 90. That's not shocking. So is this affected by happiness, or is this simply that it's unintegrated? It appears to be simply that it's unintegrated. Sure, build a granary. That seems fine. So if we look at the actual happiness here, our slaves are low happiness, for sure. Dominant culture is not integrated culture, but yeah, it's just output efficiency. So all we care about then is that this would be an integrated dominant culture. And it's a little bit awkward up over this way. It'll take some time for Lankan to spread up there, but it will get there. So I think that's going to be the plan there. The next question, of course, is once this city finishes up, this is not where this is it? No, it is. I guessed correctly. Once this city finishes up, will we be able to get enough production of silk? Well, it's going to take a while. This is currently 13. It's going to be lower than that. And keep in mind that our numbers were based on 17. So if these are a little bit more accurate and it's 15 on average, what would that be? So we know that we need how much? We know that we need 9 additional. So 9 times 15 is 135. That's a lot of additional pops. So that's still an issue. These guys just rebelled against us. Okay. I'm going to hire these mercs, and that'll be fine. We will put them onto unit reorg, and we'll get them moving up over this direction once we can. There we go. They move very slowly on unit reorg, and that's fine. That is what we want them to do, is move slowly. So these guys are rebelling against us. That may end up being a good thing, ultimately. 29 and 33 months. When do we want to attack Sumpa? Well, I definitely want to get this dealt with, I think, first. Okay, we're at 33% morale. Do we think that's enough to deal with their 2K levy? Probably. Where are they moving into? They're moving into here? Okay, we'll look to cut them off. They're currently running away. A foundry? Sure, we'll build a foundry. Do we catch them over there? I highly doubt it. They're heading up this direction. We're just going to go siege. We'll head off of unit reorg. The Magadin Empire is heading this way. Interesting. They're disloyal. I didn't expect them to actually do anything. So this city here, what do we need? Well, the province is disloyal, so we can't build there. Sad. Is Vanga in this list? It's not. So that's going to take a while. Okay. They did raise up this army, apparently. Okay, cool. They're still hiding out, like, here. It has to be here, right? We have eyes on every other province here. They could be here, I suppose. This is impassable terrain. So they're in one of these 2 provinces. Okay, cool. Looks like they are here. Our ally is going to catch them here and stack wipe them. Now they're heading up this direction while our mercs siege. Beautiful. Yeah, they'll get them eventually. They're playing a little bit of a dance right now, and it's very awkward. But the province is disloyal, so that can't happen here. Okay. So we should definitely grab some state religion happiness. What? These guys are in our capital? Okay. Did they teleport there? How did they get a levy into our capital? They must have gone via sea, right? I feel like they had to have gone via sea. It doesn't matter, to be clear. It's just kind of wild that they managed to pull that off. So, out of curiosity, how are we doing on Island Paradise? Okay, we need at least 2 territories to be a metropolis. So, in order to do that, we would need to upgrade one of these, and I believe we looked at doing that before and didn't have the political influence. So, which of these is actually the highest population? 145 in our capital, of course. 41 up over here. 46 over here. So we would want to found a metropolis. That would cost 100 political influence. Yeah. So we'll have to wait there. This siege is over. We're going to walk down this way in case for some reason this doesn't end the war, but I'm 99% sure it will. Okay, they also hired mercs. That's hilarious. We're just going to sue for peace. We're going to take this location. There we go. And we're going to lose half a point of AE. Sounds good. We don't need these mercs, so we will go ahead and get rid of them, but they're locked in movement. There we go. Cool. So there's that dealt with. Now we've got 20 months until Arakan rebels. And 29 over here. Okay, so we should probably go ahead and hire these mercs. We're going to not put them onto unit reorg, but we'll just park them right here. Cool. So our aqueducts are finishing up here. We can definitely move some pops in. And for the moment, I'm very happy to do so. Anybody who's not producing silk, and ideally not producing grain as well, moves in, but I don't think this counts towards our grain. Let's just go ahead and move grain producers in. I think it's fine. And at this point, we can move a bunch of pops in here as well, as long as they're not silk producers. 104, 105, 106, and 107. Cool. We can actually queue up an additional aqueduct as well. So we'll get that going. Down over this way, we can produce what? In terms of... Oh, wow. 83 out of 102. Sure. We'll move in a bunch of pops here. So we need to move in another 12. That's sounding really good. 101 and 102. So we're producing 5 here. How are we doing on our silk production overall? We are at 24 out of 30. So this city we can't really do anything with, but we can move additional pops here, but it is disloyal. So for now, that's not a great option. We can move additional pops up over this way. Moving the last pop from a territory will leave it uncolonized. Yeah, we'll not do that. Okay. Thanks for the warning, Gabe. And there we go. So for now, that is close to what we can do. Yeah, we checked all of these, I'm pretty sure. Actually, not this. This province is disloyal, sadly, but we can move additional pops in here, perhaps. Yes. 63, 64, 65, and 66. Okay. So something like that puts us at what? 25. Oof. Okay. We need 5 additional production. We can definitely move additional pops in. There's no doubt about that. I want to check in on aqueducts. We can build an aqueduct here. We can build aqueducts here, but the province is disloyal. So there's only so much we can actually do there. And same here. Can we move any additional pops in here? Well, no. The province is, again, disloyal. So our mercs are just chilling down over here, and we're waiting on Arakan to rebel in 10 months. That's the goal right now. And then, of course, we've got these guys over here. I'm going to split them in half for the time being, and we're going to move half of them over here and leave half of them here. We should probably put in a commander and get them drilling. So we'll put this guy in charge. Cool. Since it looks like we're not going to be going to war with Sumpa for a while, we're just putting these guys back into a holding pattern here. Okay. So there we go. That should keep them from being all attrition-y for a bit. We're definitely going to be fighting here, and then we're going to be fighting in PU eventually as well. Okay, 30 months on that. Cool. Let's check in on our silk. 24. Okay, no shockers there. And 90. Sure. Cool. So 10 of 10. 15 of 15. We can move additional pops in here, though. And we will definitely do so. 13, 14, and 15. That is literally every pop here. Okay. Amazing. It's now at 116 out of 115, but that'll do. 79 out of 78 here. I guess we had some pop growth. We can definitely queue up an additional pair of aqueducts here. So we'll certainly do that. We can queue up a bunch of things in this city, but that's not a silk producer. We can also queue up an additional aqueduct here. Beautiful. And can we move any additional pops in here that would not ideally leave things uncolonized? 75. Okay. How are we doing? 26. We're making progress on that. We do need a religious researcher, and we'll put in this fine gentleman right here. How are we doing on our research anyway? July of 702? Okay. We'll replace the stockpile. We've got plenty of cash. I'm not concerned about that. So when is this province going to rebel? 3 months. Okay. Sounds good. It is definitely difficult to hit 30 silk out of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 locations. No doubt about that. A grand festival? Do it. Integrated culture happiness sounds excellent. So we have a bunch of aqueducts being worked on. And it's mostly just a matter of time at this point. However, these guys are leading a war of independence against us. No shockers here. We were prepared for this. And these guys actually joined them. So that does make things somewhat convenient for us. Somewhat. There's a number of locations to siege here, and I wouldn't mind bringing in a second merc force. These guys will do. So we're going to bring them on over. I'm not going to force march them. I'm not going to unit reorg them. It'll take them a while to make their way all the way south here. And we'll go ahead and do that. These guys are chilling here for the moment. Interesting call. Are the Magadins going to come help us this time? They shouldn't. They're just loyal. So I would not expect that. But if they do, great. I do wish that this province was loyal, but it is not. 13%, huh? 22%, 26%, or no, 22% here as well. 35% and 17%. Well, that's taking time, but that's fully expected. So our sieges are, well, our singular siege is going well. We've got the other siege that is going to take a while. Now the Magadins are coming in here. I'd love it if they would siege here, but it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode we're going to clean up this War of Independence. Hopefully we're going to be able to get our silk production up. That would be absolutely amazing. With all of these aqueducts being built, I suspect that that may well be the case. We can queue up an additional aqueduct here and here. Beautiful. And here. So that can continue to expand for a while. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, MLohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kintogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.